Joining us right now is author and filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza. Brand new book, America, Imagine a World Without Her, is out and available. You should get it. Dinesh D'Souza, thanks for joining us this morning.
Always a pleasure.
Well, let's start with the overall theme of the book, which I think suggests that there is a real movement going on in this country from the progressive left, and it's personified by the president and his party in fundamentally changing America. That's what they promised when they came into office. But you see this as a fundamental, almost irreversible change, don't you?
Well, I think that when Obama talked about remaking America, I think he recognized that he couldn't do it by himself. He needed a whole movement to be able to pull this off. And this movement is not just powerful in politics. It has made the long march through education, through Hollywood, through the media, through the mainline churches. So it is very powerfully installed in the institutions of cultural power. And, of course, it's being pushed from the White House.
All right, so you've got this book designed to sort of ask a hypothetical question. What would the world be like if the United States had not been a player in world events? What conclusions did you come to?
Well, I'm an immigrant, so when I look at America not just in compared to utopia, but compared to other existing countries. And many of the crimes that are alleged against America, we took the country from the Indians, we had slavery. These crimes are universal. They are part of this universal, I call it the universal conquest ethic. So, for example, when the white man came to America, he found Indian tribes occupying various pieces of land. But where did the Indian tribes get that land? By and large, they got it by conquering other Indian tribes. So the conquest ethic wasn't something that was invented in Europe. It was being practiced all over the world. And what America brought to the world was something different, which is the idea of self-determination, equal rights, and I think very importantly the idea of wealth creation, that you can get rich not by invading or conquering somebody else, but by innovation and entrepreneurship and trade.
Dinesh D'Souza, you also remark about the progressives' plan for shrinking America's influence around the world. And just in the last 2 weeks, you can look at Vladimir Putin sort of running roughshod across Eastern Europe and America looking feckless there. And then, of course, we just unilaterally released 5 high-level Taliban terrorists that we had in Gitmo for, since 2001. What's at play here?
Well, I was just reading a statement just today from Sergeant Bergdahl saying how disgusting America was and how horrified he was to be serving on behalf of America. No wonder this sort of endears him to the Obama White House, because he's a very odd choice for somebody to make this swap. There are Americans in trouble in many places in the world. There's an American soldier sitting in a Mexican jail right now who seems to have missed his exit, and seems like the State Department is doing very little to try to get him back. So it's very strange, the Obama administration, in some ways, it's taken a vow to protect and defend the interests of the United States, but it seems like they're weakening our allies and allowing our enemies to consolidate their power all around the world.
There's so many times we hear this discussion. What this really is a discussion about how America is exceptional. American exceptionalism, which is an idea that the left doesn't like too much. I mean, the president says that he believes in American exceptionalism, but it certainly looks at, as you look at his policies, that he doesn't follow that up with policies that embrace the idea.
Right. I mean, I almost think that there's a view on the part of some progressives that America is exceptional, but it's exceptionally evil.
Yeah, right.
They believe in a kind of reverse exceptionalism, if you will. And by the way, this is exactly what is being taught in many of our schools and colleges. In other words, this is a very selective view of American history in which you kind of troll through hundreds of years of history, you pick out 7 or 8 incriminating facts, you string them together, and then you pass that off as history. You leave a whole bunch of stuff out. So in my book, America, and then I'm releasing a film that's coming out around the 4th of July, also called America, and I put some of that hidden history back in because I think that once you look at the full picture, America does not look like the evil empire it's sometimes portrayed as to be.
Dinesh D'Souza is our guest, and as he just mentioned, his brand new book is called America, Imagine a World Without Her, which is something that we should do often, is to imagine where we'd be without this country. Let's talk about how this country is meting out justice right now, Dinesh D'Souza. Of course, we know that you recently pled guilty to some campaign contribution problems up in the Senate race in New York. But it seems to me, with the way the IRS has been behaving, you specifically cited your partner, a filmmaker who made Schindler's List and Jurassic Park, who went decades without ever hearing from the IRS, and then he made the film 2016 with you, and suddenly he's getting audited. Do you think that Eric Holder's Justice Department is meting out justice evenly across the political spectrum?
It does seem terribly un-American, the way in which the Obama administration has been systematically going after its critics while ignoring very egregious violations by its allies and friends. So Harry Reid, for example, diverted campaign funds to fund a relative's wedding. Now, this is clearly something outrageous, completely prohibited, and something that would seem to warrant at least an investigation, if not prosecution. But the Obama guys seem to be taking no steps to actually do that. There have been cases of bribery that they've overlooked. So, I think it's scary to live in a country where Lady Justice is taken off her blindfold. And as I put it, sometimes winking at her friends and casting the evil eye at her enemies.
Yeah.
The best what we want is an even-handed standard of justice, which is meted out fairly and proportionately to the wrong that people have actually done.
So you think that they targeted you in this because of your film and because you're so outspoken?
Well, what I do know, we made a motion in the court to have the selective prosecution issue examined and the government to turn over its file. The judge ruled against it. Well, what I can say is that, I made this film 2016 about Obama, and a couple of weeks or 3 weeks after the film came out, Obama personally attacked the film and attacked me on his website, barackobama.com.
Yeah.
So I do know for a fact that I made a film and it upset the president.
You're on their radar. All right, Dinesh D'Souza, thanks for everything you do.
Just connect the dots.
Connect the dots.
You can figure this one out.
Thanks for joining us. Good luck with the book, Dinesh D'Souza.
Yeah, great to have you.